and minority and veteran-owned businesses. Lastly, EMC is seeking authorization to engage in a collaborative partnership with the Veterans Administration to promote services for veterans that support healthcare, mental wellness, housing, education, job training, business certification, business support, and entrepreneurship. So since it's already been approved, thank you, EMC will coordinate with the Office of Congressman Tony Gonzalez and the targeted federal agencies. All of the proposed collaborative partnerships will support economic development priorities and grant funding opportunities for the city of Pearsall and its residents.
And the really exciting thing is it really doesn't cost us anything.
Exactly.
So, is there any other questions?
Mayor,
Go ahead, Councilman Leal.
little off the subject, but do you know if, y'all been able to invite Tony Gonzalez to our Hispanic Heritage?
I believe that Bernie's working on that right now. He has spoken to the chief of staff, so we're just waiting for her to, and the scheduler to give us a time whether he is gonna be joining us or not for that event.
Thank you. No question.
All right, we have a motion and a second on item 9F. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, I think that's it for EMC, Fred, is that correct? Janice, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, moving on, item 9G, discuss and consider ordinance number 2023-0804, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2020-501, adopting the purchasing policies and procedures. This is an action item.
Motion to
Call for a
approve
motion.
ordinance number 2023-0804.
Got that from Councilman Leal. Thank you very much. We have a first, we have a second. Second by Councilwoman A. Garza. City Manager, you have the floor.
Mayor, just to be brief, this is actually an amendment to our ordinance that was approved back in 2020, of our purchasing policy, procurement policy, and so what this is we have the GLO is requesting that we approve these policies so in order to qualify for funding, grant funding. So the policies that you see are attached to begin on page 71 and end on, but these are all federal policies that we'd like to amend to be able to present this to page 79. So that's about 9 pages of policy.
And this again will assist us with, grant.
GLO, yes, through the GLO, General Land Office is the name of the government, the state.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Council, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Or Red? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye, please.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item 9A. Discuss and consider ordinance number 2023-0803, adopting a plan to prescribe policies and procedures consistent with the Local Government Records Act, and in the interest of cost-effective and efficient record keeping and other related matters. This is an action item. I'm going to call for a motion. Motion by Councilman Leal. We have a second by Councilwoman A. Garza. With that, I'm going to turn the floor over to our city secretary.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. What you have before you is the, let me get there, sorry. It's a, I'm not gonna say generic, but it's a commonly used ordinance around Texas that municipalities and other entities use to get their records retention schedules approved. So what we have in the back of that ordinance is actually the standing ordinance that was approved December 12th of 1990. Now this ordinance pretty much says that each department head is going to help me develop a plan. Now, to date, I have not seen the actual plan approved by council, so we have a plan. So this ordinance in front of that, 23-0803, actually would grant us the teeth, the power to go ahead and start lawfully destroying records for every department that we have: public works, utility records, HR, finance, police, every single department that we have. We would need this ordinance on file, approved, and I actually have to send it into the Texas Library to have it on record with them for us to be able to utilize it.
And City Secretary, you have the state sanctioned protocol for the time that we gotta keep these specific records.
Correct, yes,
You're
sir.
going by that?
Each of those retention schedules, and I didn't include it because it's a pretty thick stack, broken down by each, just for, she's not here, but just for instance, an HR insurance policy. it could be up to the death of the employee plus 75 years. That we'd have to keep it on record.
So this policy is really gonna help us clean up some of our storage
Correct,
stuff.
yes. I still have records from 1930s and 40s. And we're stuck, so.
Without the policy to get rid of
Correct,
it.
yes, sir.
Okay, council, pretty cut and dried here. Do you have any questions? We've got a motion and a second. Hearing no questions, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, item 9I, discuss and consider appointing a local rabies control authority for the city of Pearsall. This is an action item. I'm gonna call for a motion in a second. Motion by Councilwoman Trevino, second by Councilwoman Trevino. City manager, you have the floor. Police chief, we're gonna turn it over to you.
So I'd like to have Ethan Elizondo, our current animal control officer, get the title of local rabies control authority. Basically, he's gonna be in charge to investigate every animal bite and to quarantine any animals that are believed to have rabies.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we've got a motion by, and he's qualified, he's got the training for that. I think
He's
I'm
animal certified.
Yeah, he's animal certified, very good.
Is that the only certification that's needed for that position?
There's actually no certification needed.
No certification needed?
Okay.
And
But
everything
the
is
thing
on,
is that without a person being, given this title, we can't hold dogs for quarantine at our facility.
okay,
Very
so
good.
there,
We've got a motion by Councilman Leal, we've got a second by Councilwoman A. Garza, asking for questions. Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much, Chief. Item number 9J, discuss and consider setting a date, time, and place for a public hearing on a request for a conditional use permit for Elsa Tarvisio located at 9074-1 Speed James. This is an action item. Do you, City Secretary, before we go to a vote, are you gonna just ask this be set at the next regular city council meeting? This is
Yes.
setting a time and place for a public hearing.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what meeting we're in right now.
Yeah, this is a
Yes,
regular
this is
meeting,
the regular
so
meeting,
this
yes.
would be the regular meeting in September, which I believe is
Correct.
12th. Okay, so, City Council, I'd like you to consider setting a public hearing for September the 12th, the next regular meeting.
Motion to go with the recommendation date.
September 12th at 6 p.m. here at City Hall.
Any
And just-
any questions? This is an action item, so you guys are okay with that? Public, hearing, September 12th, may I have a motion, please?
And just to say, this property is, maybe about 2-3 tracks south of Sendero Ranch, for Jack's Produce. I think it's that property that has
Is
the,
it our ATJ or is it city limits?
it's in our city limits, yes, sir. It's barely within our city limits, but it is out there in an agricultural,
Okay.
open space
So,
area,
okay.
correct?
So I've got a motion by Councilwoman A. Garza, may I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman R. Garza, is there any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay, it is 7:53, we're now in executive session, please leave your cell phones here, and we'll be back momentarily.
We get taxes.
Yes.